Hello, this is Carrie again, and I have another video for you today. Today I will be doing the last of my updated review series, and I will be doing the Faber Castell Polychromos. I have the set of 120, so let's get started. So the Faber Castell Polychromos are oil-based pencils. They come, the largest set is a set of 120. These are extremely light fast. I believe only two colors are listed as not being particularly light fast, and that's a 119 and the other one, which I think 160, is manganese violet, and I think this is like a pink purple. Anyway, so there is that. They are sold open stock as well as sets. They come in sets of 12, 24, 36, 60, 72, and 120. The set of 12 is currently listed on Amazon for $20. This set of 24, this is my swatch card that I made with all the colors from the set. I did mess up a little bit, so the order is not exactly correct. I think these two are in the wrong order. But for the most part, these are the colors for the set of 120. Anyway, this is also out of order. Oh, I'm just a mess today. Hold on. This is also out of order. They come in these little removable trays, and you can put the trays here, but let me put them in the correct order so you can see the trays. So this is the lowest tray, and the two other trays have, let me see if there's a way for me to show it to you. You can turn this over. There you go. So they have some padding in the back, so when you lay them on top of each other, they do not get damaged. And they also have these nifty handles here. Anyway, so as I was saying, they come in sets of 12, 24. The set of 12 is $20 on Amazon right now. The set of 24 is listed at $33 on Amazon right now. Hold on, I have, these are the colors. This is not the set of 12, this is a different set in larger pencils, but I wanted to show you the colors that come in here, plus a white that I gave to my friend Amy. But I just wanted to show you the colors that come. These are the colors that come in the set of 12. So that's the set of 12. This is the set of 24, which I got to travel with me and to take with me when I go out. So this is an unused set of 24 that I just purchased. And then we're going to be looking at this in more detail in a minute. So that's the set of 24. The set of 24 is listed on Amazon right now for $33. There is a set of 36 that is listed for $51, as well as a travel set of 36. This is the travel set of 36. I'm not particularly fond of this, mainly because as you use pencils, the order gets moved around a lot, and it's very difficult to keep them in the order. So I'm not particularly fond of this particular set. That's why I got the set of 24. And this is listed on Amazon for $48. There is a set of 60. I don't have the Polychromos set of 60, but I do have the set of 60 in the Albrecht Dürer that I can show you. And the set of 60 is currently listed on Amazon for $80. I think when I purchased my set of the set of the Albrecht Dürer, I think they were listed at $100. But this is around about the colors that come in here. There might be some variation because I think I changed the colors a little bit, but this is around about what the set of 60 looks like. So if you're interested in the set of 60, they have these nifty little trays you can lift. These do not have the padding in the back like the set of 120 does, but you don't really need it for this anyway. This is currently listed at $80. There is a set of 72, which I've never seen in the US. The set of 72 is listed on Amazon, I think, for a third-party retailer for $129. There's also a wood set of 72 that I don't think I've ever seen, and then this is a set of 120, which when I purchased the set of 120, I purchased it for $200. Now it's listed for 160. There is a set of 120 in the wood case, and I think it's currently listed for around about 300 and change. So that's that with the pencils in the various sets. They are, I haven't, in all the time I've been using all these various pencils in the various sets, I haven't experienced any breakages at all. That's part of why the pencils look so false, because I sharpen them like as I need to, but I've never had any breakages or any problems with breakages. Let's see, the next thing is they do hold a point really well. They are a slightly harder lead. I think a lot of people are used to the Prismacolors. These are harder than the Prismacolors, but they're still really creamy and really smooth. But if you do need an excessively, like a super soft pencil, these may not be for you because they are a little bit on the soft side. The other thing is they are very, very highly pigmented, and we're going to swatch the set. We're not going to swatch the full set of 120 because that would take too long, but I am going to swatch the set of 24 with you. They are highly pigmented, as you'll see, and they do have a larger round barrel. Let me show you the random thing I want to show you. With the Prismacolor, this is a slightly different color, but I do want to show you the that the Polychromos is a larger barrel and a larger lead, so these are a little bit larger pencils. So so that's something to keep in mind, to make sure that you're comfortable with a slightly larger pencil. I actually find the slightly larger pencil to be more comfortable for me with my hand pain, but I know that some people do prefer a smaller pencil. So there is that. Let's see what is next. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I have very, oh, they do have really, really good quality control. Let me show you this from a Prismacolor pencil. This is something that I have in all my sets. I've never seen anything like that. The quality of all the pencils is really good. The writing is relatively clear, except for some colors might be a little bit more difficult to see because they use the same color printing. But overall, these are really well done. They all have the name of the. They all have the Faber Castell printed on them. Polychromos, made in Germany. These are made in Germany, as well as the color name in English and German. The color number so that you can reorder, as well as the light fast rating. And as I said, most of these will be 3 and 2 stars, which is extremely good light fastness. And there are a couple of 1-star colors. Break. I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done, and we're going to look at the box of 24 and swatch those out, and then we're going to have some fun with the set of 24. Okay, so before we get into the set of 24, I wanted to show you some of the work that I have done. This is a current work in progress that I have, and I made this with the set of the 120. But it's not finished yet, and I just wanted to show you just how it layers. I only used a solvent blender a little bit for some of the leaves on the inside and for the brown branches on the outside, but for the rest it's basically just been the pencils itself. No blender pencil, nothing. So I want to show you the outside, what it looks like. Some more stuff that I've done. Now this was done without any sort of blender pencil of any kind at all, and these are both earlier ones that I did. This was done, I would say, at least a year ago, and this is a little bit more recent. Hold on, let me show you. This is a little bit more recent. I did this. This once again is done with just the Polychromos, no blender pencil or anything, and I've already applied the fixative to this. But this is pretty much finished, and I'm very happy with this. So this was done with just the Polychromos, no blender pencil, no nothing. So that's this. These are 2 completed pieces with those pencils. And so now let me show you. See if we can go in a little bit closer. So this is done So this is the set of 24, and let me show you what I made with this set. I used a wax paper a little bit in between here just because I don't want it to smudge. Before I get a chance to show you, hold on, let me zoom up so you can see. I did this just, you know, just like a quick sketch with a 24, which is basically what I got it for. I got it for doing like studies and quick sets and for taking it out with me when I travel. So this is just the 24 colors that come in this set of 24. So this was done, this was just a freehand sketch. No additional materials were used for this, and I just wanted to show you what you can do if you want to do some freehand sketching with these various sets. All right. So there is that. I'm not sure if I'm going to apply a fixative to it or not. I feel like I'm very sensitive to odors, so I feel, you know, like I feel like it would bother me a little bit too much, but you know, but we'll see. Anyway, so this is the actual set of 24. I got this from Dick Blick from my wife, and I'm slightly annoyed because it got dented in shipping. And I asked, you know, I wanted to get a new tin, but I can't send out a new tin, so I'm not sure. You know, so I'm basically going to keep this even though the tin is dented, which is slightly disappointed because, you know, it's not as secure as I would like it to be now that the tin is dented. I may use a magnet on the outside so that it stays closed. But that's, you know, that's more of a it happened to me issue. It's not necessarily how yours is going to arrive. Anyway, so you get this. So these are the 24, and I think this is a really good, sort of a very well thought out set of 24. Let me show you the book that comes in here. I may or may not have shown you the book when I did the original review, but this is actually a very good book. It has a lot of really good information. It has some information about the company. Oh my god, how much I love this set. Oh, I would love to have this set. If I ever get this set, I will totally do a video for you guys if I ever get this set. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It tells you a little bit about the other products that are available, as well as showing you different techniques about the pencils and different ways to use them. Oh, and that's the other thing that I did put in my notes, but I forgot to mention that with the Polychromos, the lighter colors are more transparent and the darker colors are more opaque. So that's something to keep in mind, especially with the white. Some people are particularly unhappy with the white because it is so transparent. And in fact, if you saw my set, when you saw my set, you will see one thing that I did with the big set, is I took out the Polychromos white and I replaced it with a Luminance white for my at-home set. And this is the set that I use at home, and I have, you know, space to lay out and all that other stuff. So I haven't decided yet whether or not I will do the same thing here with this set, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So anyway, so we're talking about that in terms of the book, how the light colors are more transparent and the darker colors are more opaque. This does lend itself very well to layering, as you can see, as you saw in the things that I made, that you know, they layered really nicely. They're supposedly work really well on different color paper. It definitely looked you know, I was surprised because the colors are so transparent, especially with some of these lighter colors, but they still worked out okay. This white in the center, though, is not the Polychromos white. The white in the center is the Luminance white, and even though the Luminance is wax-based, as you can see, you can use both of those interchangeably, but that is the Luminance white at the very, very center, and then everything else is everything that's not white, like this cream and these lighter colors. Those are all Polychromos, except for I used a little bit of the Luminance white in the center. I did forget to mention that in earlier. So there is that, and at some point I will be coming back to test. I did get a black paper notebook, and I will be coming back to test all the pencils that I've reviewed on dark paper. So that's coming up as a future video. Anyway, so here we have the set of 24. So we are going to swatch out the colors, and then after that, I have something really surprising for you, and I hope it doesn't make too much noise and wake my wife up. I'm pretty nervous about it because I thought about doing it, and I've been thinking about doing it for a while, and I finally decided to just go ahead and do it. Anyway, so this is I think light yellow glaze. Now I understand the colors that they put together. The you know, the mix is an interesting mix. I probably would have replaced the light yellow glaze. It's a little bit too greenish tinted for me with the cream instead. Let me show you the cream. Hold on, let me show you. This is the cream. And this is probably the color that I would have put in instead if I was making the set. But, you know, whatever. It wasn't my, you know, it wasn't my decision to make. But they gave me the light yellow. I guess the light yellow glaze is a more vibrant color than the cream. And they wanted to put vibrant colors in here. But that is what, you know, that's what happened. Anyway, so this one I think is Pale Geranium Lake. Oh, no, this is dark cadmium orange. I love the cadmiums. There's like a cadmium yellow, like a light cadmium yellow, like cadmium orange. Like all the cadmium yellows and oranges are really pretty in this set of 120. Anyway, this one here is Deep Scarlet Red, another color that I really like. This is a very pretty color. This is Dark Red. I think this is Magenta. This is Ultramarine, which is another color that I really love, the Ultramarine. And this is the light Ultramarine. This is I believe this is the Phthalo Blue. Now this color I don't use as much. So if you guys have any idea of what kinds of things this color would be good for, let me know down in the comments, because I don't use that color very much. This is, as you guys can see too, how much pigment you deposit. And I'm not pressing particularly hard either. You know, if I want to press even harder, I could totally, you can see when you press much harder, you can get that really just like heavy layer on there if you want to go extra hard. I don't usually press that hard. I find with these pencils that the results you get when you go light to medium light and then layer are much more they're much more interesting and much more satisfying, for me at least, than just going in with the darkest layer. And so with these pencils, I really enjoy layering with these pencils. And I find you know, like if I spend a lot of time working with, there is a little bit of a learning curve with these. Like if I spend a lot of time working with, say, the Crayolas for a review, or just, you know, or just for practice, and then I come back to these, there's a little bit of a learning curve, because I want to press harder than I need to press for these in order to get the pigment to work. And I forget sometimes that with these it's better to just go in lighter and just layer the heck out of it, because they will just keep taking layers. Like it's very rare that I get to a point. And look at this. This is a light color. That's the other thing I want to show you, is even with these light colors, except for the white, with these light colors, you still see the color and how well they match. I think these are some of the best matching in terms of the outside matching what's inside. And the other thing that I really like about these pencils, and I know that a lot of people don't care, which is why I don't talk about it with the other reviews as much, but I love the fact that the color is all the way throughout the barrel of the pencil, because it makes it really easy for me, especially with my vision problems, to just pick out the colors that I want. And the fact that it matches so well makes things a lot easier. Although I do have a color chart that I you know, I keep my color charts pretty handy, and I'm probably gonna make another color chart just for this too. But I find the color charts to be really, really helpful and really fun. So I'm going to take a break, and then we're going to do something really fun that I've never done for any colored pencil review, and I've never seen anybody do. We're basically going to take these pencils and we're going to give them a 3-foot drop, and then after we give them the 3-foot drop, we are going to sharpen them. I'll probably do the 3-foot drop in slow-mo, and then I will probably do the sharpening off camera. But basically we're just going to look at the tips and see that the tips are fine, that there's no damage, there's no breakage to the pencils, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And so let me take a break because I gotta reorient the camera, and I will be right back. All right, so you're about to watch the drop test. I want you guys to pay special attention to the white pencil, and without further ado, the drop test. Hey guys, I hope you can hear me, otherwise I will have to fix it in post. But anyway, I switched out the tin that the 24 came in, and I put him in the tin that my set of 12 Albert Durr came in, since I was so unhappy with the tin. And I was actually more worried about the tin than I was worried about the drop that they all took. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm at Starbucks, I'm going to sharpen all these pencils, including the white, and they should all be fine, and then I'm going to draw with them, and then I will be back for the next part. Alright, I have sharpened them and they are ready to go. Let me show you the tips, how nice they all look. The white is down a little bit more because that's the one that was broken a little bit at the tip, but I do want to show you these amazing shavings. Look how clean these shavings are. And that's part of what you pay for, is you pay for a pencil with a nice thick, high quality wood. So that's part of where the price for these comes from. But look at these shavings, look how clean that is. Anyway, so I'm super excited to actually get using them, and I'll be back. All right, I am back. I have finished playing with the pencils, a set of 24. I took them out. I drew this after doing the initial drawing. I did the second drawing, and I don't normally use the white pencil to burnish, but I did in this case because the white pencil had dropped, and I just wanted to go over pretty much everything with the white pencil just to see if I could feel anything or if there was any damage to the white pencil, and it was absolutely fine. So without further ado, let's get to the final stages of this review. So this is the original tin that everything came in. As I said before, I was pretty unhappy with the dents that came in from Dick Blick. You can see the dents, it's pretty bad. I was pretty unhappy with that, so I put them in here. So they live in here now. I made this swatch after I dropped the pencils, and then I laminated it with just some packing tape over it as my homemade lamination, and hopefully that will keep it from smudging as I move it around, or protect it from spills. So anyway, so this is it. And right now, I think the part that we are at is the comparison. So this is the Faber Castell Polychromos. And I did a little bit of blending with the Caran blender. And it did move it around a little bit, but I had put, a lot of layers on here, so it didn't really do that much. But there's that. So in case you guys want to see that, and you can see once again the vibrancy of the color. So let's get started with the comparison. I think I have 11 or 12 brands to compare it with overall. So it's quite a lot of brands, but hopefully we will be able to get through this without it taking too long. Anyway, so this is the Crayola, and even though these are covered, you can already see some serious fading on the Crayola. See how bad that's fading, especially over here and over here. It's actually starting to get pretty bad. So that's one of the big differences when you pay for artist quality pencils, is the fact that you should experience less of that sort of extreme level fading. This is the Twistables, which I did, and this is already looking a little bit less vibrant than it did originally, but you can see the comparison with the Twistables and the regular Crayola. You know how badly it fades, even though it's covered after a short period of time. So anyway, so that's the Twistables, the Staedtler Ergo Soft, which I haven't reviewed, but mostly because I wasn't really that impressed with them. If you guys would like to see a review of the Staedtler Ergo Soft, you can let me know. I just found them to be more expensive than the Crayola, but I didn't really find them to be particularly better. Anyway, these are the Tombow, and there is some fading even on the Tombow, which I'm actually a little bit surprised about. But the Tombow Erogetin, you can see it even with the fading. You can see the comparison with the Tombow and the Faber Castell Polychromos. These are the Blackwing colors, and I was really impressed by these, and you can see why I was impressed by these. They definitely are vibrant colors. They don't show the kind of fading that the other ones show, but I've also haven't had this as long as I've had the other ones. The Lyra Polycolor, which did surprise me how much fading there was in the red on the Lyra Polycolor. But red is a relatively fugitive color, so if there was going to see fading anywhere, it would definitely be the red. But you can see the difference between the Polychromos and the Lyra Polycolor. Next one up is the Dick Blick Artist Colored Pencils. These are pretty much the same as the Kohinoor. But I want to show you that. And these are the Kohinoor Polycolor. As I said, pretty much the same as the Dick Blick. This is the Prismacolor Softcore pencils, and you can see definitely that the Polychromos definitely have a little bit more vibrancy than the Prismacolor. The Prismacolor Premier. There's a little bit of fading in the blue. You can see a little bit of fading in the blue, but it's really not much. So there's that. And the next one is the Caran Pablos. These is the Caran Pablos. And in the US, I think the Caran Pablos do cost a little bit more than the Faber Castell Polychromos. I do like the Polychromos a little bit better. They're both good pencils, but I do prefer the Polychromos a little bit better. They have a round barrel, and it's a bigger barrel, and the light fastness is also a little bit higher on those. And you can see the Luminance, the Caran Luminance, which are really I think the only pencils that really give it a real true challenge in terms of the vibrancy as well as the light fastness, and in terms of not fading or anything like that. So there's that. So this is the comparison, and I'm going to take a quick break, and we're going to go over the final conclusions on this review. Right, so a couple of things that I wanted to add before I go over the summary. A few things that I forgot to mention earlier. One thing I forgot to mention is that I did make some changes to this, and it wasn't exactly the change I thought I was going to make initially. I did take out the Pale Geranium Lake from the set of 24, and I added the Blue Violet. And I did this in part because there was no purple in this set. There was a magenta, but I don't really feel like the magenta is a purple in the sense that I think about it. So I did put in the Blue Violet, which I feel is definitely more of a purple. instead of the pale geranium lake, because unless I'm making something that's like red, I'm probably not going to use this color all that much, and I'm probably going to end up using this color more. So I ended up putting that color in. The other thing that I find really interesting about this 24 set in particular, more than the 60 set, and not necessarily more than the 60 set, but basically more than almost any other set of 24 that I have looked at in all my time reviewing colored pencils. And there is an entire playlist of all my reviews, and there'll be a link up there to a playlist of all my reviews, is that this is an extremely well balanced set of 24 out of the box. Probably better balanced than pretty much almost any other set of 24 that I've seen. It's really easy for you to make whatever kinds of colors that you want to make. There isn't a true skin tone here, but if you want to make like a light skin tone, you could use this with some white. So there's that. But other than the fact that there isn't a true sort of light European skin tone, this is an extremely well balanced set. And I like the fact that for making darker African American skin tones, these aren't the colors that I would necessarily pick, but if I had a limited palette, these will work just fine. You know, especially with this Venetian red, which would really be helpful for making skin tones. So overall, I found that this was a pretty well balanced set. Initially, I was a little bit bitter because I tend to use more of in the larger set, I tend definitely to use more of the cool grays than the warm grays. But when I was doing my sketching, let me show you this sketching. The two sketches. When I was doing the sketching, I actually found that I was able to use the warm grays to make the shadows, and then all I had to do was add a little bit of blue to it, and it's fine. If you use the solvent, it's even easier because then you can dissolve the colors. So there's that. If you want to, if you want to try out the set of 24, this is like a key lime cheesecake that I love sketching, and I do this key lime cheesecake all the time. Anyway, so there's that. So that's something to keep in mind about this set, particularly the set of 24. But I love all the sets. I mean, I really feel like these are just wonderful pencils. And as you can see from my review, there's a lot of things that I really love about these pencils. I love the fact that the wood is printed, that the color is all the way in the barrel. So for me, I have eye problems, so this makes it really easy to pick out a color and pretty much match it. I do make a swatch card for pretty much all the sets that I own, but I find that these are a really good match. You can see the color that's here. These are a really good match, except for, I think this is a bigger problem in the greens, is that sometimes the colors are so similar the way they're painted on that you don't realize that they're a little bit more different when you do them in. And that's the case with some colors that are extremely similar, but that's a very minor quibble. Definitely some brands are way more off in terms of the colors. I love the way that these work with or without a solvent. As I said earlier, this was done completely with the outside was done completely without a solvent. There was a solvent used on the inside and the brushes, but as you saw my drawing from the drawings and all the other stuff that I've done, is that if you don't want to use a solvent, you totally don't have to with these. These work really, really well. The set of 120 is an extremely well balanced, fun set of 120. I didn't really find myself missing too many colors, although I did have some friends who like to work more with pastel colors who found that they would say that they would add probably something from the Luminance line to get some of these more pastel colors in. But this is a really nice, really wonderfully complete set of pencils. I love the fact that I did the drop test, as you guys saw earlier, and all the pencils are fine. If I mix these in with my regular set, there'd be no way to know which pencils had been dropped. I did all this after the drop test. You can see it's fine. There's not any amount excessively of going down because I had to because of the drop test. Everything has worked out really fine. So I love that about these pencils. I tend to, because I have the Dandy Walker, I do drop things occasionally, maybe not as extreme as I did for the test, but occasionally I will drop a pencil every now and again, and I love knowing that these will be fine, even if it the worst part for me is that, you know, if I drop a pencil, sometimes it'll roll and then I'll have to like dig up for it. And that's kind of like the worst case scenario if I drop a pencil. I have not had any, you know, breakages or anything like that. So this has been wonderful. As we talked about earlier, the white is not as opaque as some people like. The white is a very transparent white. So there's that if you don't like it. But overall, these really are my favorite pencils. If you can afford these pencils, they are not inexpensive. These are definitely more, especially since the price of some of the other brands has gone down. The Prismacolors have dropped considerably. These are definitely not the most inexpensive pencils out there, but for all the reasons I stated, for the fact that the colors are vibrant, for the fact that the colors stay vibrant. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this review. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing pretty much all the sets. I think the only set we didn't see was the small tin of 12. And the larger tin of 36. So there's that. And thank you guys so much for watching and staying with me. Oh, there is one more thing about these pencils, and I'm so glad I looked at my notes before I forgot that Faber Castell is releasing, it's not out yet, and I don't know when it'll be available in the US. They are releasing a set of 68 colored pencils in a cup. And I don't know when that will be available. I don't know what colors will be in there. I am really excited about that 68 set. I probably will have a hard time convincing my wife to buy it, but I will definitely go to the website and see what colors are in there. And if there's anything interesting about that set of 68, then I will do either an additional video or just add notes to this one. So there's that. And so that's been it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I really want to thank the patrons over on Patreon for supporting the channel. Every single, like, if you can only do $1 a month, that makes a huge difference, because then I'm able to afford products and to do reviews and to do crazy things like a drop test, which I would love to do for other brands. At some point I would love to take a bunch of pencils from all the different brands and just drop them all, and you know, and possibly, you know, cut them open or something crazy like that. So anyway, so having the patrons really helps to support the channel. There's also to all the links down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and all that YouTube stuff. And don't go away, because the video of Stewie is coming up, and I don't know what his issue was, but the video of Stewie is coming up. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, Mr. Stewie. How's your body? How's your good Mr. Stewie? Aw, who's your buddy? Aw, who's your good buddy? Aw, who's your good Mr. Stewie? Look at that, he got arm fat.